Morning, Nancy Jean.
Morning, Scott.
So, I got my new shirt on just to show.
Isn't it pretty?
I like it.
I like it.
Oh. Cat ladies, rise up. Got a few. I wore it out to dinner Friday night. A college girl was waitressing, and I walked by her, and she's like, "I like your shirt." And then an older lady, when I went to the bathroom coming back, she looked at it and gave me a scowl. So I was 1 for 2. It's kind of funny. So you wanted to show your picture you got up here with registrations?
Yeah, this was it's 2 weeks old, but it's pretty telling on how voter registration is going up, and so you can see in some of these they're just enormous jumps. Some populations, the African American population, for the most part, unless people just get frustrated and walk away, they've been heavily registered for a long time. But and one of the troubling numbers when you see these everybody's registering. Well, in Pennsylvania, apparently, the only field program the Republicans have is to white women over the age of 40 who haven't registered. And I don't know why any woman would vote for a Republican, but
so the big jump is black women. I'm trying to read it.
No, young black voters.
Young black women.
Young Latinos.
Young Latinos.
Black women. Black Americans and young women. But those numbers far outpace everybody else. Now the next trick is getting them to the polls.
Right. Well, we know. Well, I've seen there's never been a shift really with the white folks.
In Pennsylvania, there is. It's not. There's just not nationally. And I think Pennsylvania's going to be where it gets. And see, they can't get a hold of the Pennsylvania legislature to change the voting rules to the Republican way of doing things. And apparently, the guy in Wisconsin, the mayor from some little town, who took the early voting station, he stole a mailbox.
Oh yeah.
Bad. Apparently, he's going to be in trouble with the government because the attorney general for the state of Wisconsin is looking at it. Because the way the law reads is it's up to the clerk in your county whether you have mailing boxes or not. And the thing is that the guy who registers a voter in that county had already sent out all of the literature and sent everybody their early ballots, the ones who want to do mail-in, explaining that this box would be available. So they have to make it available.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, the Republicans did that same crap in 2020.
Oh yeah.
They sued because of COVID mainly. They put out extra drop boxes to keep people safe. So the Republicans sued to have them removed.
Mm-hmm.
Went all the way to the Supreme Court or the state Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
It got shut down, but it's just ridiculous. Anything to stop people from voting.
Mm-hmm.
Karen Louise, why'd the chicken cross the road? To avoid the debate.
Yep.
A good one. Yeah, I've been seeing all those videos of the hurricane devastation. Just unbelievable. The amount of water and destruction of all the water coming off the mountains and whatnot. Unbelievable. Dams breaking in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And the nonsense with MAGA saying that Biden didn't want to give Tennessee any money. Well, here, Governor Lee didn't even say anything till Friday.
When they finally said, "Hey, it may actually hit you," and what they're waiting for was Trump go to the what is the people who handle the weather? It's not NASA, it's somebody else. NOAA. They wanted Trump to go to NOAA and take a magic marker and tell the storm where to go. That's what they're
Yeah. A lot of states are getting sued by Mark Elias and our federal government because they're removing people. You can't remove people from roles 90 days prior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Texas removed 1 million a couple weeks ago, and the clever politicians in the state had already run a list. They had the voter rolls, and they can run it. You can immediately see who's been removed, even if they don't notice it.
Pretty profile picture there, Juno.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? I was on with Juno yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I missed that.
The psychathon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. When I left, we'd made over 10,000. So.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah. As I was going to say, no one donate today if they are inclined. Donate to any kind of hurricane relief.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Oh, God. They shut down all of Western North Carolina. Yeah, all I see in this clips is horrible. Fun session with Juno and Jeffrey. Was it a threesome or was it part of?
Yeah, it was Jeffrey, Juno, and I.
Oh, beautiful. Mm-hmm. I missed that. Okay. Hi, Jeff. Oops. No. The avatar was made from a driver's license photo. A girl can dream. Sweet. Wow. Our voting drop-offs are in front of police precincts. Is that good or bad?
Oh, I'd appreciate that in Dallas because we had drop-offs last time, and there were guys sitting a half a block away in their pickup trucks with guns in the back.
I was in a dream last night doing a reading and in front of a packed Kamala rally. Holy blow. Mm-hmm. Talk about pressure.
Nah, just read your cards.
I don't think they'd be too much interested in that, maybe. But that's pretty neat.
Well, we're in 2025 somewhere. Psychics and stuff. But we've been on that list for a long, long time, back into the 60s. So.
Oh, you gave Jen a reading?
Mm-hmm.
Elementals surrounding Jen?
She's seeing shadows out of the corners of her eye, and she doesn't feel anything bad from them. But that's one of the first ways you get to start to feel them. They try to enter your environment. Now, if you really talk to them and bring them in, I warn everybody, they're sort of like mischievous children. So if you want your cards to disappear, that one stone you really need to have right at that time, it will be moved. But
thanks, Karen. What is the latest energy on Van? Could you clarify that one, Cecilia? What's the latest energy on Van? I'm not sure what that means.
Van, if she's the Van she's thinking of, and it's really an obscure reference, but Van is Voter Activation Network, which is the democratically owned voter system to solicit votes to work field. And I don't know if it's getting better or not. I know, and I can't talk to you about how Sean works with what, but he would know.
Remember that reader on Fox News?
Oh God, the one who told the truth, and they were like, this poor woman said, "Oh dear, I don't know if I should read this."
the five of cups.
Yep.
He loses.
That question, though, talking about Fox, answers the question. You said the only one we had at first is why do people think Trump's better on Earth Mamas? Why are people saying in the polls that Trump's better on the economy? And I don't know if you saw Mark Cuban's out all over everywhere right now. And he was talking about, he said, there is no mainstream media. Mainstream media, if you look at which media is getting people's eyes, it's the conservative media. It's Fox News. It's they do much better. People who read politics do much better than people who read spiritual things. May I hold up my hand and say that's absolutely true as far as financial support, but there's also conservative, those conservative talking heads that were getting $100,000 from Moscow a week. Good, Cece. It's changing because she's done things on the economy and she's explained it. And large voting block places like the unions are doing a full court press to explain to people what they were seeing.
Yeah. I think people are paying attention now. It's getting closer. Understanding that gas prices are coming down and all that.
Casey paid $1.52 a gallon after the discounts from our grocery store.
Dang.
I know.
That's nice.
Okay. We almost live on top of the refineries, though, so it ought to be cheaper.
Yeah. I think things are breaking through.
Yep. And all you have to do is keep showing the stock market. I hope the stock market holds. October, for those of you who don't know economic cycles, October is always sort of a tough month on the stock market. So
you want to lose this? Harris is down on the border with Hispanics. Why?
Because it's part of the United States. That she's down on the border because they kept saying she never goes there, she never goes there. Well, you can often do more up here than you can down there on the border. But for all the crap they keep saying about the border, from what I hear in the communities where upticks in border people crossing, you would hear it. They said it's just not there. It's fallen away, that it's really working. So the problem is that the only reason other parts of the country started to get upset was when Abbott just started not even letting them stay in the state, but pushing them on to New York and Chicago and other cities. And the problem with that is a lot of people come to this country knowing they have a cousin or an uncle or someone they can get to. And they were swooping them up and sending them to New York, which didn't have the infrastructure created to help them get to their family member who's willing to take financial responsibility for them. People just don't walk across the border with no plan. I mean, sometimes they do, but I'm not saying all of them don't, but the majority of them know I have a cousin here, I have an aunt here, I have a da-da-da here who can sponsor me.
Yeah, that's all helpful. And, and they have that app they created too to streamline the process.
Yeah, but then the Republicans didn't give them the workers to do it.
True.
So it's a merry-go-round playing with people's lives who've already been disrupted.
Jen sees it firsthand. She lives in the border. I know, that's all the GOP has. They just keep saying they're criminals, saying there is an invasion. That's it. It's ridiculous. Okay.
Okay.
Let's Earth Mama. Why are people saying the polls that Trump is better with the economy? Makes no sense. It's just lack of information.
Or they get their information that are lies. I mean, you flat out have to say at this point, Fox is lying. They know it's not what they're saying it is.
Yeah, it comes up, like in Fox News. They show what the stock market is, and they show it, but then all of a sudden they click off after a minute or whatever and talk about something else.
Yeah, they accidentally left the cameras on too long, and they saw everybody cheering the last big time it went up last week.
It's just unfortunate with our media. They seem to make more money when they lie in falsehoods than actual truth.
Well, that's not true. In a way it's true, but in a way it's not. What happened is people began to see Fox as mainstream media. And so then when the mainstream media tried to adjust its message into that more illusionary realm that Fox lives in, they couldn't make it. They're not doing it successfully. And people just turned away from watching their local news. Plus, there starts with an S, Scott. The network that owns stations all across the country that bought up all of the local news stations. We have them here.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. And if you have Spectrum in Texas, they have a Spectrum News. And when your TV clicks on, it goes right to that channel first before it takes you anywhere else. You can't just leave it stuck on a station. And
I know that's true. Sinclair. Yeah.
Sinclair. Yeah. You can't move away from them. So you're going to hear part of their message all the time.
I never thought of that. That's true. My station usually comes up channel 3.
That's right.
CBS.
In my channel, it's a different one, but Sinclair went in, and when they came into Texas, CBS used to be channel 4, and the only open station for somebody, this is before even cable was set up, was 11, and they petitioned and they somehow or another got themselves changed to 4, and CBS became channel 11. And the more, I know it sounds like, what do you mean they can't hit 2 buttons on their remote to move it? No, people don't. And if they get even a few minutes of their message a day, that's how I find out what the conservatives are doing. So when I turn my TV on until I get it all set up to where I want everything to go.
Interesting. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
But CBS, like I said, mine comes up at CBS, and they're generally fair in the area. It comes up the local channel, CBS.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's weird.
But who's running the news on local channel CBS? They may be CBS for their broadcasting, but their local news may be Sinclair.
Could be.
See, when you major in these subjects, you pay attention to who shows up where.
Okay. Will anything happen to Clay Higgins for his...
Does he have an opponent?
It's Louisiana. It's tough. I don't know. We found out Magic Mike doesn't.
Yeah, well, they clear their own decks so that no one will run against them. Sad thing to say is if they find out someone's going to run against them, they go somehow or another pay them through some other means to not run. I've seen that happen in races.
Are you looking up if he has an
opponent?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to see what the cards say about his future. I don't see a censure or anything like that.
God, what a turkey.
I got currently he's in the justice moment, so he's getting a lot of backlash. Backlash. So in the current, I have a King of Swords, my Justice card, and my Law Enforcement. So it sure feels like he got talked to by someone.
He doesn't have a Democratic opponent. As a matter of fact, it says he should get 99% of the vote.
That's the problem with Louisiana. They don't put anyone up because they know they can't win. But yeah, I think there was some legal representation that told him you cannot be saying this stuff. Well, stuff. So that's in the current. So for his future, yeah, someone talked to him. There's someone gave him a stern warning about his comments, his speaking with the Page of Wands, and there's a warning, 8 of Swords, in my decision card. So I think he's been heavily warned about his speech and what he said, and told him you better be restricted here in what you say. Unfortunately, in the end, he feels secure with his future in the House.
Do you know Louisiana had the largest number of new voters apply since January of 2024, and its voter rolls went up for women 128%.
Unfortunately, there's no Democratic opponents against.
That appears to be done, or their name is written in all white letters. You can't see them.
Yeah, these last three are too good. He's secured where he's at for winning again. You know, in his future.
Yeah, he's locked in. My in card for him is the Hierophant. He's not going anywhere, but he's not going to be able to do anything. He's going to be completely disempowered. He has the 8 of Wands in reverse, which means your information is going nowhere. The Chariot reversed, which means you're not moving. And it's because the Queen of Wands is in there. But he still has all his friends. He still has his friends with their money. So chances are he won't run again.
Yeah. Higgins uses government account to tweet that. Just horrible. He should be nowhere near. Will he get hate charges? I didn't see it in there.
I don't see. He may be trying to throw his crap up, but it's going nowhere.
Yeah, I see he's been warned. I see he got warned, but unfortunately, I don't see it.
Hello, Debo in Scotland. We have someone other than Ian. We have another person up in the Highlands.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he's got a bad history. I read about that. It's unfortunate people like that get put in office. Will the media publish any of the JE news?
No.
I don't think so.
Not now. Not in this. First of all, it doesn't help Dems either, because Epstein was an equal opportunity perv. So nobody wants to hear from him except people that want it aired so it doesn't happen again. But Pluto is not yet out of Capricorn, and it won't be till November 6th, 7th. I think it's the 7th, right after our election. So
Oh, let's see. Documents are already out there. Some people don't want them exposed. The devil is already there.
Okay.
Just shows the Democrats are going to win in November. And then.
Ooh, I asked what's going to happen to Epstein's documents after the November election. You do your reading because you did.
Yeah, that's why I think something's come out after the Orange Menace loses, and then more will come out with the devil.
That's right.
But yeah, that's what I was getting after the Democrats win.
That's what I got. I got the moon right side up, which is a yes. 7 of Cups. There's a lot of illusion and delusions going on around it right now. Yes. 9 of Pentacles. When they're safe and in that place, they're going to go after him and a lot of his friends that don't want to be gone after. And it's going to be the 3 of Cups, and we're going to get what we want, the 9 of Cups.
I got the 9 of Cups too. It's the Democrats' winning card. The celebration. Yeah, that's what she mentioned, but it's always a tough fight in the Congress to actually get it dropped.
Not when they see the way women vote this time. I think there's going to be a complete shift. It's like when Roosevelt. I don't know if you've ever read about what happened with the Congress when Roosevelt won, and they kind of went, "Oh my God, these people are really going to demand things," and they did. So, did you see Ian's comment about the $100,000 watch? You know it was made for Trump because it has small hands. Thank you, Ian. A little Scottish humor.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, nothing like money laundering. To give him money, because it doesn't go through his campaign. It can go directly in his pocket, any profit.
That's one of his promotional things, yeah. I have a friend who does actually have, it was appraised at $10,000. It's a Rolex that was made for his father in the early 70s, and it's got all these gems and stuff in it. And I've looked at Trump's watch, and I've seen this watch. It's not that. Trump's watch is not.
Someone mentioned if it is actually what it says it is, it may be worth $5,000.
Yeah, and it depends on the stones that are in there. I can tell you about crystals that can look like real gems that aren't.
Okay.
Where you pulled something up. Did we go past it?
I was just looking again.
Earth Mom, I'm sorry, you're in Western North Carolina. That's not the place to be today.
Flooding seems to be worldwide. Will it continue?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, okay. It's getting really wet in places it wasn't really wet before, but you go into Africa and it's drying up because they've removed the plant structure that holds temperature. It's a thing that's going to take the world getting together and saying we shouldn't treat each other this way. And it's not, the problem is some of the fixes are not that expensive.
Equal Rights Amendment. It passed in 2025.
Oh, yeah, there's a thing that when Kamala gets in there, she can put it forward and sign the document that needs to be signed and make it the law. Because it's already done all the things it needed to. When Virginia won the House in the last election, they were the last state they needed. They passed it. And it went to Trump, and of course it got nothing there. He couldn't kill it, but he didn't sign it. And neither did Biden. So Kamala would have the possibility of doing that.
Excellent, Teresa. Just voted. Dropping off my vote form.
Yeah, we had a lady who was on our thing, and early voting opened the day before we did the psychics for changing democracy, and she said she'd voted and already handed it in, and now she's moving to Las Vegas, but she still lives in Missouri. The way it's what?
Speaking of Vegas, did you happen to see someone made a 6,000-pound naked Trump?
Oh,
I guess it's going to be touring.
What's it made out of?
I don't know. It must be cement because it's 6,000 pounds.
Well, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say it was a 6,000-pound butter sculpture.
No. I guess it's like 18 or 20, 50, 18 feet high or whatever. It doesn't depict him well. So I guess it's going to be touring. Oh my God. That is crazy. Oh, Debbie's having some internet commission problems. YouTube cutting out. Oh, she said it's 40 feet tall. Holy Jesus!
Oh,
I just seen it on string.
Marionette. Whoa, that means things move, and I'm not sure I want to see anything move.
But someone did it. It was hilarious. Just wondering about Loomer. Long-term relationship of 45. Does Laura Luma? I don't think she's in a relationship.
Oh shit!
She's already bit the dust from hanging out with him.
That woman's a piece of work. And when you're talking about the people that hang around Trump, it takes some to do
that. Rose is like she's a stalker, pretty much. I don't see a relationship. I think someone thought she could help the campaign, and then she turned out to be crazier.
No, he just saw a 31-year-old that he could actually have sex with, so he didn't care. Bring her over.
See, I don't recommend looking at that statue. The new shaman. Actually, I just read that the Sahara Desert is turning green amid unusual rains.
Very good. Yay.
In north.
And that's in the north. I'm talking about the sub-Saharan Africa that's going into desertification, whatever, how that word that I cannot say.
Yeah, the south is just horrible. It's drying up. There's no rivers anymore. Same. I seen the internet picture and that was enough. It was, Hey, coyote, vote straight blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jennifer Cooper. Any idea how the October surprise might center around?
Oh, there's so many choices.
There's so many things. Not that it really gets out in the atmosphere, but Judge Chuckin is rolling through things. There's going to be documents exposed, but I mean, it doesn't. October 11th, that movie hits theaters about Trump, the Apprentice movie.
Mm-hmm.
That one hits theaters and streaming October 11th. It does not depict him in a good light, so hopefully some mega goes and sees it thinking, oh, my hero is going to be in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, ew. I'm trying to think. You want to read on those emails that got sent to reporters and whatnot? It's not really horrible. It's one guy got suspended off of Twitter for putting some of it out.
I don't know anything about it, Scott, so it'll be a clean read.
It's the hacked emails from that Iran. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I don't read that kind of crap, but yeah.
It's mostly just an Oppo research on JD Vance. Basically, mostly what it is.
Okay.
And DOJ did indict two foreign nationals that did hack that, the Trump campaign. I guess Roger Stone was one of them and whatnot, but just will more of that information get to the public like they did with Hillary's emails and whatnot?
No, but you had the Russians pushing Hillary's emails. I don't know who's pushing Iran's emails.
I think some of that may leak out and expose a little bit more later.
Okay. So are we reading on the October surprise or are we reading on the emails?
I was just thinking emails because that's the only things I can think of. But
we could have Jack Smith give him an October surprise.
True.
In their 160, you could have done 180 pages, and they only did 160 in the indictment. So,
coffee's still hot. DOJ's got to indict someone to make them look like they're working. Okay. Let's see. October surprise.
it's not going to be as big a one as we think. Whoever's doing it doesn't have the power to really get their point across. And it's going to be something to make Americans afraid of their own, where they're living. So it's going to be psychological against people.
So I got like everything that comes out with 45 always just seems to be like an allusion to who needs to hear it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter, to the certain group. Six of Cups, my Empress card, and then the illusion. So it's like the old saying that to the MAGA base, nothing sticks to the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have the King of Swords, my Hermit Fool card, and then Knight of Swords. There may be some other. It feels like there may be other indictments coming out around the Trump campaign or in that atmosphere. I think there's more indictments coming.
Okay.
Like from Jack Smith or something that
makes sense.
That reaches the news. Someone close. I think, the King of Swords could be Jack Smith. And then my Hermit is like taking a leap of faith, doing something. And then my Knight of Swords is that investigative card. So at the bottom of the deck, I have the Page of Coins. That's always something new. Some kind of offers, bring out some kind of documentary or financial change.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, Ace of Cups, Abundance, King of Wands, a male leader, and then I have my 3-4 of coins, which is documents, Abundance, King of Wands. Could be a hearing or something that gets brought up. Because it doesn't feel like this is an indictment along with a King of Wands. In the past, the King of Wands has been referencing the FBI director ordering something too. But it feels more like informational with the Ace of Cups next to it. It doesn't feel like someone goes to jail. It feels more like a informational hearing. Maybe an FBI director has another hearing or something like they did when they indicted those 2 Russians that sent the
right
$1 million. It feels like there's going to be another hearing type thing prior to the election. Oh, maybe they're going to. That could be. Maybe they're going to indict like Benny Johnson and Tim Pool and that kind of thing.
That would be nice.
That's where I'm getting the feeling right now, is that some of these media personalities will be getting indicted prior. Okay, next. Let's look. Tuesday, we got the Vance-Walz debate.
Oh, that's fun.
We looked at it last week, but let's see, the energy has changed between the two. I think, yeah, I'll just do my random cut.
Is there a way that cards can say that JD Vance got dumber?
Maybe the 7 of Cups.
Yeah.
The rules came out. It's going to be similar to.
But they have to correct each other.
They're getting more time to respond, I guess, with but it's up to the moderators. So 2 minutes, respond a minute, and then the other person can get another 30 seconds to respond. So there's a lot of options for respond, but mics are open, except there can be a kill switch if it gets nuts.
Okay.
So it's pretty no audience, that kind of thing. Dave Rubin needs to be indicted. He's one of the Russian hackers, Russian propagandists. Okay.
Well, I asked how the debate's going to go, and I think I was thinking more from the point of JD Vance. I'm sure Tim's going to be fine. I got the 3 of Swords, the nasty 3 of Swords, where they're dead with the sword in their hand. So that's going to be JD's thing. It's going to be good for Tim Walz. It's going to spread some 7 of Coins, spreading the word out well. It's going to be 2 people talking, and one is going to seem like a child. And the other one's going to be writing in triumphantly. So you figure it out. And the fact there's 5 yes, 6, well, it's 6 yeses, but 5 cards saying yes means it's going to happen. So.
Yeah, JD loses bigly. So I got the Empress first with JD. I think he's going to bring up nonsense about abortion again.
Oh, good. Oh, but probably about dogs and cats.
Probably something silly. 9 of Swords, anxiety ridden. It ain't going to go well. He's got some fear. 5 of Cups, he will lose. Hangman, he's going to look foolish and have to reevaluate. And then 6 of Cups. I think defending, he's going to have to defend his nonsense, what he's been doing about childless cat ladies, women that have no value, all is nonsense. So I think Tim's going to bring that up. There's a lot of fertility in this with the Empress and the Six of Cups. You know, the Six of Cups is all about childhood memories and family, children. I think Tim's going to hit him hard on all of his things he said about families and kids and Haitians, everything. For Tim, I got the moon. I think there's some secrets he's going to be, you know, bringing out to light that possibly it's not in the mainstream media. Emperor, he's going to be in control. Queen of Cups, he's got a sensitive side. Knight of Cups is all about love. And then Judgment. Tim's going to lay it hard on him. You know, it's like
Tim's been talking to errant young man for many years.
Yeah, he's not going to hold back, and he's going to do like, you know, a little bit like Kamala did, but it feels more intense. Everything that JD's ever said. You know, even his comments from 2016 about the Orange Menace. Tim's not going to hold back. I think he's got locked and loaded of Vance's comments. You know, so it's going to be bad. So JD might have to bring out the old cats and dogs trick because he's going to be so anxiety ridden.
Well, the cats and dogs is only effective the first couple times you hear it when you're going, what the hell did you say? I mean, you know, it's not going to be effective by the time they get there. I just posted for Pia. If you look in the comments, I just posted the best way I can think to find the show we did yesterday. I can't find a link to it in anywhere on YouTube, but it was on Deborah, and I tell you how to spell her name, Lupian. It's on her channel.
Yep. Karen, remember that Walz's ninth campaign, and JD's on his second. Yeah. Both JD and 45 have pretty much zero experience.
Well, they don't have anyone teaching them how to do it or how to best express themselves to get their opinion across.
Rattlesnakes and alligators. The moat around the southern border.
Please. Let's see.
Okay.
I'm going to do that with my regular cards. See if
where did 45 fake a health expo jail?
Oh, well, don't you remember Harvey Weinstein showed up in a wheelchair and everything else? And then the next time after he's not going where they thought he was going, he walked in the courtroom. Now he's charged again. He's back in the wheelchair. I mean.
Okay. I haven't used these in a while. I'm going to use Debbie Freebird's card.
Oh, good.
I haven't used them in a while. I grabbed them today for a reason. 45. Will he fake?
Yeah, he's going to fake a heart thing in October. He's already getting together with people to figure out how to do it. It's going to appear that there's a transition, but there really isn't one. It's his heart, Ace Cups. It's because he wants to screw with the justice system. And the reason I said October is the Wheel of Fortune.
Okay. On the bottom, I get the key, which is the 8 of coins. Karmic lessons. So there's some kind of karmic lessons going to be happening. King of Cups is the house card. Refuge, family, home, grounded, real estate, small business, house. He could be in-house. I am you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the clover, which is the 6 of coins. Luck or fate?
What he's going to find out is if you're doing that,
Recovery.
the courts send in a physician that is not in your control, that's in their control.
Outcome. I'll get my feelings after I show it all. 7 of clubs. That's swords. It's the letter. Documents, messages, news, legal. Next to the bear.
Mm-hmm.
Something strong. A leader. Authority. So we got a letter of authority and the birds and the communication. 7 of coins. The gossip. So I think it's going to be fake. The birds would say it's something's going to be fake. Anxieties. I think there's anxieties over some kind of documentation that is revealed, or legal documents. So then we have going to a different house. I am you. What does that mean? I am you. He's not going to be treated like any other person anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have two cards of fate, the key and the clover, the 2 fate cards, karmic lessons. So faking.
Yeah, he can fake certain things to say I can't go do this, but if he gets a real physical, they're going to find out how out to lunch he is.
Correct. So in a sense, it doesn't feel fake. Because he ain't going to get away with this kind of fake. So in a sense, ultimately, it feels like it's the real deal. When you have a health emergency or whatnot, it's like karma's hitting you with what you have accumulated all this time.
And see, supposedly, when they really talk to focus groups about Trump, part of their liking him is he feels like a strong man. Well, if he's weak and he's sick, he's not their strong man anymore.
Once we get closer, these polls are going to shift too even more, I bet you.
Yep.
And you'll be told you have no chance of winning this one.
Oh, do you think that before the debate, somebody's going to explain to J.D. Vance that these people come from Haiti, not Haitian?
Doubtful.
I hope they don't. I want to have him say that.
They both talk nonsense, and they're not even rallying together.
No.
I think they hate each other.
Well, Trump hates the fact he made such a stupid choice. But then he got the info from his son, Don. What did he expect?
Yeah, that was the internal thing I heard. Trump wanted Burgum, and then everyone else said, no, you got to take Vance. Probably the Heritage.
That's probably the stupidest thing, because Burgum might, he's not nearly as good as Vance. As Walz, but at least he makes sense. He's not completely nuts, except when he's talking MAGA talking points.
There was a restaurant that wouldn't let him in Pittsburgh, Vance and his crew.
Why should they? They make their poor staff look stupid. Like, I'm running for vice president. I'm selling ice cream. What do you want?
And then the Vance team made a big stink of it, taking cell phone pictures. These people won't let us in, and da. It's like, oh my God.
Well, you guys who believe in private property and that people shouldn't be, it's private until it has to do with reproductive rights. So
I guess it was last minute, and they're like, "We're not kicking our customers out.
Mm-hmm.
Must leave." And then it became a big thing and crazy. Okay, so
Well, Iran gets involved with Israel.
Israel killed the Hezbollah leader.
They also bombed Houthis today.
They did. I didn't see that. Okay. Will Iran get more involved now?
This is what I thought I was going to say.
Rather than just Hezbollah.
Okay. You know, Iran isn't terribly fond of some parts of Hezbollah either. So Israel may just be doing their work faster and they don't have to go against their own people. What I got is no. I got the Empress. They're trying to build a new future. And that as much as we don't think they can do it, they do have temperance. They're building new relationships. And they know that if that tower comes down on them, they're going to pay more than Hezbollah ever has. And my out card is we get what we want. I don't know how many of you saw it, but last Thursday, there was a memo out of the UN that Iran and the US and some other countries were striking a deal to get some of the restrictions taken off of them. So I don't think they're going to want to run right back into getting into more trouble for Hezbollah.
Yeah. I don't think Iran wants a war.
No.
So I get the Tower 2 coming here in the current. So that's like a divorce from Hezbollah. Things aren't going. This card is all about love and doing things better and not going to war. And then the Queen of Wands is you're a strategic leader. It's female energy, but it's a better energy than like a King of Swords, taking on things. Then I have heartbreak and tough lessons going on. Destruction. Light. It's basically the Sun card. Clarity, hope, success. And then militarily. So the destruction in military, is centered in light. They don't want this. They can see what's already going on. They don't want to fight anymore. The future is positive energy. They're evaluating the situation going on. Taking time, evaluating situations. There could be some meetings in their parliament or whatever, but it's positive energy with the Ace of Wands. So I don't see war. I don't see them getting involved. I think they're trying to separate themselves a little bit from Hezbollah.
They're trying to separate themselves a whole lot from certain things. They're watching Russia go down. So is everybody else, despite Putin threatening he's going to blow off a nuclear bomb, which is always problematic because he is nuts. But they know that their best hope is to get as close to the West as they can with all the problems they have with the West, because China's not going to help them. Russia's not going to help them. Who's going to be left?
Yeah, so it feels like they're moving in a different direction here. Eventually. Florida infrastructure is failing. Hurricane proved it.
Debbie, I live in Texas. I can tell you that until you get rid of those bastards, your power grid's going to be crappy. My grandchildren on a perfectly wonderful day in the fall had to leave the school because there wasn't enough energy to run the schools. I mean, nothing's going to happen until people there wake up and see that I don't know.
The unfortunate thing is this climate change. There's been 4 hurricanes massive in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, with category 4 or 5, it was
that was huge. That was Camille was.
Yeah, it was like 40. It was like
Mhm.
40 years earlier and 80 years earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, of that magnitude, there was only 2 in the last 100 years,
Mm-hmm.
and we've had 4 in the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So getting rid of a governor is not going to fix climate change. We have to get on all the same page, more green energy stuff, and keep moving forward. Otherwise, this is going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Horror of all these hurricanes and whatnot, and it's just burdening. Help for the people in a different government will help, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of these Republicans and just keeping people in poverty. It was long. It was a year or so ago. Someone came in our chat. I can't remember who it was, but it was from Florida. And I seen it, and I said, if you can move.
Yeah.
It's not going to get better in Florida.
And I know people who are still moving there. I mean, they've told me they are. I find it kind of odd. But then when people say, just move out of the state, I live in a state, it's hard to move out.
You answered your question, Wheezy Squeezebox.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't maintain their other stuff, they didn't maintain the nukes.
Nope.
There was I think we talked about it last week. They've been trying to experiment with this missile or whatever, and it failed 6 times.
Mm-hmm.
All they did was make a big crater where they were trying to send these off and experiment. The stuff is made of junk. They have no maintenance. It was all oligarchy and people. They didn't maintain their vehicles.
And they lost a lot of technical people when they started the war with Ukraine. You remember all the hundreds of thousands of people that got the hell out. That was the people who could make those things work. You have to have a certain inclination to want to make something work.
Yeah, and that hot water in the ocean does a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about that before, killing the coral and everything. Julie in Wisconsin. We still have people with retirement goal. It's always been to live in Florida. The intent on that dream. Sorry. People I know in my area that are retired, they have winter homes in Arizona. I haven't heard anyone that go in my area, my group, circle that I hear from.
Mm-hmm.
They go to Arizona more than Florida. Like spent half the year down there.
Snowbirds.
Okay, Iran. Okay. Senator Wyden pulled forward a bill to add 6 justices to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
And other rules they have to obey or get impeached. Okay.
The one part of that I'm most interested in is they're going to have a mandatory retirement time, or only so many years that they can serve, and then they become part of a rotating set judges that can come on as cases come up.
Last I heard, they were talking 18 years.
Yeah,
Something
because
like
see, that's how Clarence Thomas has been there so long. They put him on when he was a young'un.
Okay, 6 justices. That's 15.
And there's 13 courts.
There's 13.
Maybe they're going to redraw the federal court lines.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I read all that, but 15?
Okay.
I could see 4, but
I'm going to see if Wyden's bill has some teeth. Will it go somewhere?
Yeah. Does Wyden's bill have any
substance?
And I'm going to ask the next 5 years.
Okay.
Does Senator Wyden's Supreme Court bill have any teeth? Expanding the court.
Oh my God. Yes, because what he's putting forward is a balanced vision. Yes, because it fits the goals a lot of people want to see for us. It is the Four of Pentacles. In this case, I'm reading. It gives people a proper amount of control. Some people don't want it because it screws up their wheel of fortune. But I get the Six of Cups. People feel like we're going back to what the court was supposed to be. So I think it's going to work. It's much more optimistic than I would have expected. And a lot of major arcana.
Okay. It is a full spread. So in the past, I have King of Cups. I think this represents Joe Biden's vision.
Mm-hmm.
What he sees. But then it's Seven of Cups and then Six of Coins. His vision or whatever isn't feasible in the current environment. Because Six of Coins is, is the giving and receiving, making deals. But Seven of Cups shows it's not in the current environment because this is the past. In the current, Strength card, Two of Swords, and the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
So the Strength card feels like, yes, this should happen. It would stabilize the court. Two of Swords is, it's kind of like your choices. What's the problem? The Moon could be secret dealings, but I'm not really getting. Well, I feel like it's getting stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Like the thought, like with moon cycles and whatnot, things do get stronger, things fade, things get stronger. So I think there is validity to what's getting out there. Okay, now moving forward. Now we're talking years or when it actually gets momentum. Two of Cups. It's a joined effort. King of Swords. Some law. Is Wyden a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It feels lawyerly, like a bunch of lawyers, constitutionalists get involved in what's best. Seven of Coins feels like by partnership, getting the votes to make this happen. In the end, Page of Wands, much talking about making this happen. Nine of Swords, that feels like the Republicans are like, no, it's going to destroy things. Empress, and Four of Cups. So there's a lot of talking about it. It's going to take time. The Empress is a 3. This could be 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I would think it would take that long.
But I'm not really sensing a 6 justices. I think it's a 4. I think it's a movement towards 13. I'm seeing compromise. You're not going to get everything you want, but I think the biggest thing is the ethics rules.
Mm-hmm.
That's feels like first before expansion. I'm not getting this as being one whole package. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be split up a little bit with the first of the ethics rules and other things.
Well, some of the bad actors might leave, and so then that's going to be much less of a.
It could be a lot of changes, but I don't see 15. I think the 13 sticking with, unless other things change too. But yeah, I feel it's 3 years because there's a lot of talking about it and a lot of anxieties. Republicans won't go for it. They knew they'll lose with that 9 of Swords, but eventually. But I'm thinking it feels like 2028 or end of 2027 before it actually gets done. Okay. Now I got 110. I know there's other questions, but now I have all of them
colored so we can see them.
Yeah, I don't have them starred.
Mm-hmm.
When will people be released from? Okay, I'll star that. Looking for questions. Quick. Oh, Cece thinking to move to Wisconsin.
Hey,
oh, you're welcome. You're welcome here. Pick a Democratic town.
They may all be Democratic towns by the time she gets there. Think positive.
Yeah, that'll be good.
You heard what happened in Nebraska, where
right.
it's yeah. I mean, they've got an independent who's running. Jeff Flake is voting for Harris. Wow.
Yeah, he came out today, I think, on the big statement. He said it on like Meet the Press or something. But yeah.
Well, because there's a group in Nebraska. And people didn't want to put a Democratic sign in their yard, and so this one young couple made white signs with a big blue dot in the middle, and they and their neighbors put it in their yards so they could say we're Democrats without putting the DEM word, which they thought would get shot up. Well, what happened is it caught on, and so finally a sign company started making them and selling them, and they're now all over Nebraska. They said they're in areas of Nebraska where you would never expect to see a sign of support. It's the same thing with Tester. There was a comment in here for someone who wore her John Tester t-shirt to a store, and the guy in front of her, when they were shopping, he said, I agree with you. And she said it made her feel good. The problem is when Dems get intimidated into not talking about who they are, then they get squashed. But I can tell you in Dallas, it used to be covered with Trump signs and covered with big giant black pick-em-up trucks full of bumper stickers and stuff. They're all gone. I mean, you can see the pick-em-up trucks because you can see that they had a lot of bumper stickers taken off.
Yeah, it's probably why that guy last cycle tried to run in Utah, I think, as an independent. Came close, but.
And you have to have somebody on the ballot. There's a county north of Dallas, and this goes back to pre-Obama, and nobody ran up there. They just let the Republicans have it. They didn't worry about it. And so when Obama came into Texas to have a primary with Hillary, the only way you can identify a Democrat from a Republican is what primary they vote in. Well, they weren't having primaries up there. So there were like 7,000 people.
Changes quick.
Out of 100-something thousands that you could that you could solicit and know you were talking to someone who had at least at one point voted in a Democratic primary.
Yeah. So, Liz, I seen that picture too. They mowed their lawn, Harris-Walz.
So can't be stolen. I mean,
he stole it. Yeah, and I seen a comment. Someone said, "It's a win-win. If they don't like it, they're going to mow the whole lawn." So yeah, that was good.
So anyway, if you have to put people in the races so someone has someone to vote for. And when we went up, we went from having 7,000 identifiable Democrats in Collin County to 110,000 at the end of the primary. Because they come out and voted for Hillary and Obama. So
brand new Chinese nuclear sub sink.
We'll never find out.
Is it known if it nuclear powered or nuclear armed? What do the cards say? A new Chinese sub sank.
Well, if it's a nuclear submarine, it's going to have nuclear material in it. I'm going to see if they're in danger of.
Yeah, it's kind of danger. This is a cold read, so I'm not sure what's up with that.
I've had a lot of those today.
Never seen any info about this sinking. Okay. What does the card say about this nuclear submarine?
Yes and no, they're going to have to clean it up. It was poorly built. They were trying to be sneaky about it, which is why it was poorly built. But the sub is down there. It's dead. And in order to get anything back and living in that area, it's going to cost them a ton of change to get it done. It's a Knight of Pentacles. He gets money. It's a yes and a no. It's going to cause problems, but not as profound as it could.
Yeah, I'm getting the worries. 7 of Cups, 9 of Swords, and the 10 of Wands in the past here. Or it can be actually current feeling. So there is some worry about this, that it could be a disaster. But I'm seeing it being fine. I don't see a disaster happening. The cleanup, it's going to be victorious. The sun, 6 of Wands, and my love card, keeping things good. It's going to cost them some money, and they're going to be cautious.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't see any after effects of this. You know, like an explosion or leaking material or anything like that. I think it's going to be okay. Yeah, I was just telling Nancy, you said you have it recorded.
Right.
But I watched all the YouTube clips, but it was pretty good. Saturday Night Live, back online.
Yep. 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
I can remember watching the first one.
The comedy was good. MTG for senator. Oh my God.
I think I'll do a 1-card pull on this. I don't want to stress myself.
Oh my God. She thinks she has more power from getting away from indictments, being senator.
Look at the card I pulled for MTG if she runs against Ossoff. Death.
A big end. No. I seen her getting indicted in handcuffs, so nowhere near it. She's a snake. I got you the snake.
And you got the snake card. I don't know. Snakes are kind of warm and cuddly next to MTG. So
yeah. Shedding slippery and tangled, difficult lies, distraction, detour. Below the snake is the Sith. Breakup. You're in danger, girl. The book, I think she's going to be indicted or something. Yeah, and then she's got pathways. The other card is pathways. It's choices, free will, options, decision. But no, she is not going to be running for senator. Oh, another card. What the heck? It looks like her ship has sailed. Oh, good cards. And the tower.
Oh, dear.
They're all right next to each other. No. At some point, I think she's involved in planning J6 or something. Long time ago. Someone asked, and my guide showed me her getting handcuffed and perp walked. So I don't believe she's going to be anywhere near the Senate. Hopefully this year, after the election. That's right, Cheryl. Gates is in big trouble.
Yeah, he's in trouble somehow.
I think they got the testimony finally, or someone has, and the proof. Because before, I think they dropped it. The feds dropped it because of testimony issues.
They couldn't get, the only person they had that had really concrete proof was the guy who was already sitting in jail because he'd screwed himself up so badly. And then the young woman who could have testified against him, she's now a well-paid porn star. So I thought that might affect the jury's view of what she had to say.
Yeah. That's a little too dark, Jeff. We're not going to read on those two.
No.
You can do that privately with a couple cards.
You got a deck? You want to learn how to read tarot? Jeffrey and I are starting another class. We'll be glad to teach you. Then you can deal with all that dark stuff.
Yeah, that's right, Wheezy. I wonder if MAGA even watches SNL or Jimmy Kimmel, because all I have to do is watch
Colbert.
Stephen Colbert
stuff. Yeah, they're just.
I mean, they don't have to watch news. Just watch those three, or all of them, and they'll give you the news, but they'll be like, "Oh, it ain't true. They're just liberal hacks."
Somebody asked if we should be worried if there are more Republicans than Democrats. What you should be worried about is having informed voters, no matter. And it's like in Texas, you can't tell. The only way you can tell is how they vote in primaries. So there's not a really good way to do that.
Yeah, I hope that's a good sign. You know, like Nancy said, you don't see the Trump flags and big old trucks anymore.
Cults have a hard time sustaining themselves.
In Wisconsin, when I drive around, I see it in the rural areas where I go. They're like massive. Oh, I may have talked about it before. You may not remember, but every fall after this farmer takes off his crops, he always puts like 60 to 80 flags along the interstate. Trump-Vance 2024 American flag. And he alternates all the way down for like a mile.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got a huge sign. So this farmer has all that. And there's another house that puts up a huge Democratic sign. But yeah, this guy is crazy. This farmer is crazy to put that much stuff out. 60 to 80 flags along the highway.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my God. That's some serious brainwash.
Mm-hmm. Scott, who's Dave Rubin?
He's another one of those right-wing podcasters.
Is he one of the ones who was getting paid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Rubin, Tim Pool. There was a woman, I can't remember her name. And that Benny Johnson. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's one of those same rules. I never see him. Mary Lynn Young just got done commenting on Sean's latest video. He's now in Wisconsin.
Yes, he is.
She did a phone bank. Brutal. To comfort in the second-thon afterwards.
Yeah, phone banks can be brutal, and I don't know how they're vetting their lists on who you call. We used to, in Texas, we knew better. We used to make sure they had at least one Democratic voter in the household to that phone number or to that, But I don't know how they do that now that they don't. It's so hard to get around the cell phone. So
yeah, you said Sean's in
Green Bay,
good deal.
but he's going to be working in 5 different places, and then apparently after that, he's going to be staying in. He's going to get a couple weeks off to come home for Thanksgiving and stuff, and then he's going to be back up there working on your Supreme Court justice elections next year, 2025. So he likes it up there. Of course, it's nice. This is the best time of year to go to Wisconsin. I told him he did get boots up there because he wanted to get boots that were the right weight. That's true. Wisconsin Democrats. You can look that up. If you look under Julie Louise
Dreyfus.
Right, Dreyfus, yeah. And it's going to be on at 7:00 tonight. If you contribute anything to the Wisconsin campaign fund, you can get a ticket, and it's on the TV. It's streaming.
That's good news. Only a small sign in Tucson.
Good.
Oh yeah. Every Thursday in Kenosha, Wisconsin, I drive by the Kenosha Republican office.
Mm-hmm.
And they have all their huge signs out.
Mm-hmm.
Or is another house that put up bigger Democrat signs.
Oh.
It's hilarious. I drive by it and I'm like, that's funny.
Somebody wants to know what's going to happen to all the people who moved to Iceland. They're the ultimate risk takers. That's all I can say. That place is ready to blow.
Iceland, Greenland, yeah.
But, I think they'll be safe. I think they've kind of sort of figured it out. But I don't think your question is irrelevant. It's just it gets lost because you didn't put it in capitals.
Oh, hi, Lee. I think you said you're near Wisconsin. I'm just south of Madison. Like, I'm 10 miles south of Madison, Wisconsin.
Sean is in Green Bay, and is that in Door County? I have no idea.
Brown,
okay.
The Door County's close. But yeah, Green Bay is Brown County.
I was a small child when we vacationed in Wisconsin, and the only thing I knew was the rivers and the lakes. I don't know what the land was.
Oh, Mary Lynn's in Milwaukee.
Yes, I know. Mary Lynn, I passed your note on to Sean before he left Texas, and he said, I will not be there. I will be in Green Bay. So.
Wow. My girlfriend, Nancy, most of her family lives in Milwaukee area.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm in Milwaukee every day delivering meat products and other stuff for my job.
Mm-hmm.
So I cruise around Milwaukee every day. So I remember back in the day, go to a Brewer game or something, and I was like, "Oh, this drive is so long," and now I do it daily, and it's like, "Oh, this ain't much," you know. Yeah. So Kamala released 20 years of her taxes. Walz has released 15 years. And Trump and Vance have yet to do anything.
Yep, he's not going to. To the person who commented on the fact that in 2016, Hillary appeared to be ahead in the polls, not in their internal polls. They knew she was in trouble. And the other thing they had not accounted for is if you go back and look at the numbers that year, how many more people they had registered in Wisconsin and all these other places that the Democrats were not even talking to. That's why I'm saying we're paying attention to the new people who are coming in. The Dems didn't 2016.
That and probably the October surprise, and it was in the people that just going out to vote heard Hillary's a criminal with her emails and didn't know everything about Trump. So that's a few thousand votes away with that. All that news.
The best predictor of anything in a poll is their favorability numbers, and Kamala's are soaring. So, but don't think that doesn't mean I have to vote. And don't think you can vote for her and it's going to solve all your problems. You need to vote for the whole ticket. You need to vote for as many blue people as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think they're kind of a wretched person in a lot of ways, though their being in the chambers gives us some numbers to be able to make a difference.
Yeah. Nancy said Hillary's astrology was bad at that time. I mean, I believe she was winning, but it was the last moment stuff that thought she was a criminal.
The stars they can't compel you to do anything. You want to read on Iceland?
Well, climate change and the melting of the caps is going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, but their problem's more from under the ground than from what's on them.
Oh, there's volcanic movement.
Their whole thing's volcanic, and that whole part of the ocean is opening up. They can tell because that crevice goes out into the middle of the Atlantic where you don't see it, but things are opening up out there. Okay, want to read it? Will Iceland have stable? For Iceland's history, will Iceland have a stable geology for the next 5 years?
If someone is moving on the street, Carol says, yeah, they kind of live on a volcano. Oh, right.
Something's changing there right now. And it's going to make it difficult to maintain your homes and the stable economy. So it's not looking good. But they're working on it. They have incredible predictive things I can't even imagine. So
okay, we're talking about land and whatnot.
But they have geographic problems in California too. So
okay, Pat. This has been going on for quite a while.
Yeah, that's how come it's there.
So the area has judgment upon them, 9 of Swords. That 9 of Swords, it feels like, it's the anxiety card, but it's also like unstable. It feels like to me. And then Ace of Swords can be frustrations. So the area's is unstable there. Now I have the World, Page of Pentacles, and the Devil. This is not the only place being affected. So, like, we talk about floods, we talk about droughts, we talk about volcanic movement, earthquakes. This is just a larger piece of the whole world adjusting. And the Devil is, of course, a difficult thing to get over. It's similar to a tower type feeling. Moving forward, Queen of Pentacles. It's my Earth card. 3 of Wands. And 7 of Pentacles. For some reason I get ley lines.
Yeah, there are big ones there.
I'm sensing connecting ley lines, making things more stable on the planet. So I think when things get connected better, there will be an adjustment for better. In the end, Page of Cups, Knight of Wands, Two of Pentacles, and Two of Swords. It's going to be a while. I think Iceland's going to be okay eventually. But until this balance and this shift in the planet is stabilized, it's going to be a struggle.
Right.
I got 2 twos here. It could mean 2 years or 2 decades. I'm feeling more like 2 decades.
Yeah.
But eventually it will be stable. But when everything straightens out with climate change, the carbon and shifting, when all the ice melts and then it's settled, that's when it's going to be. So I actually feel it's going to be unstable in a sense for like 2 decades. And a lot of places, like, we talked about those droughts in Africa and whatnot,
Right.
Until the climate is settled and we get the net neutrality and all that and change things, it's going to continue. If only we had Al Gore and started on this 20 years ago.
Well, I have a guy, I subscribe to his channel, and he does, when their earthquakes are really active, he has shows and explains what's going on. And it's very, but the upside to that is they don't pay for their own energy. They use geothermal energy.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I would not move there.
So you don't die with a big power bill.
I would not move there.
But I don't like California for the same reason. I've been there when there were earthquakes, not big ones even. And I don't like it when the ground moves. But the world doesn't, our world would not be our world if the ground didn't move. So that's just me being picky.
All right. Okay. 137. Inspiration for the week.
Okay.
Let's find some inspiration for the week.
Okay. Fairy wisdom, because it's closest.
Okay. So we get 9 of Raphael starting out.
9 of Cups.
That's making a wish. Dreams come to reality. Joyful time in life. And then we have new beginnings happening. In your life, finding your purpose. Reviewing the past. And then 6 of Gabriel. That's our victory card. Congratulations. Done a wonderful job. The awards, promotions, and scholarships. I think we're going to be starting anew. I think this leads up to the election too, and everything. Get through this terrible time, and we're going to have new beginnings coming up in a very short few weeks. Stay focused, stay together, manifest our destiny.
Right.
And it'll be good.
I've got thinking of you. And this has to do with synchronicities. And it allows you to make better choices and actions. Created in light, grounded in stone, I ask synchronicity here to be shown. I call on the powers for timing and place to bring balance to divine grace. So be it. Let everyone know you're thinking of them today, and remember that the earth's breath is your breath. We all are one. You move smoothly emotionally through life's journey, sense the rhythm of the earth, and synchronize your breathing to it. So if you want peace, think about peace. If you don't want peace, think about other stuff. Don't get caught in the crazy.
That's right.
Because we make our own path.
I know, and October is what, Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday, October 2nd is another lunar eclipse.
And then again, if everyone didn't see, I got my new shirt on.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
I got another one. Another one upstairs I got. It's got Kamala's pearls with her shoe. She's been wearing those Chuck Taylors.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cute too. I ordered I'm voting for Walz, or I'm voting for what's Tim's son's name?
Oh,
Gus.
I can't recall right now.
Gus.
Mm.
I'm voting for Gus's dad.
Mm-hmm.
I got a hat coming. I'm voting for Gus's dad.
Yeah, I like the Trumpers saying they stole our hats. Well, you stole our gimme caps. People used to have selections of gimme caps. I know people who threw theirs away because they didn't want to reflect on them.
Okay. Well, everyone have a beautiful day.
Yes. If we didn't get to your question, save it up for next week. Also, I'll be doing a live answering questions on Tuesday.
Cool. I'll be on the road when you do that.
Yes, I know. I get comments from on the road.
Have a blessed day, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.